I was there for that last fight with him, and nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. So I think they both have something to prove. They're both really good heavyweights. I think Ngannou's got something to prove. I really do. I think he lost a lot of fans in that last fight. So I think he's got to go out there and prove to everybody that he can still go out there and knock dudes out. I'm going for Francis.
Curtis Blaydes, the big beard. I think he's gonna take a page out of Stipe Miocic's book and wrestle him for the first half of the fight, maybe the first round, get him gassed. But and this is a rematch as well. So the last fight, I think what's his name? Francis beat him, but that was before Curtis started working with the guys at what do you call it? Muscle Farm. So yeah, you look at even Curtis fought Mark Hunt as well, and he took some shots in that fight. He wrestled him, and then won that fight. But I think he's gonna wrestle Ngannou and take him out maybe later on.
Two overhyped guys that fight at heavyweight, the weakest division in the UFC. I mean, let's be honest. Tim Sylvia was UFC heavyweight champion. He had 2 left feet.
It's a tough situation because Blaydes has been looking really good right now. He's on a run. I see him probably, out wrestle Ngannou, but then also Ngannou just got that tough fight against Stipe, where also he had to definitely work on his wrestling, or definitely made a point in working his wrestling. So I think he definitely did it. Plus, he's a really strong guy. So if he put his wrestling on and keep his strength, and plus his knockout power, I don't think he's going to be easily taken down anymore. So I'm going to go with Ngannou.
Curtis Blaydes, man. I think that Curtis Blaydes is the Anthony Smith of the heavyweight division. He's the dark horse, man. He's the one that no one pays attention to. But other than other than the first Ngannou fight, I don't even know if Curtis has lost in the UFC. Yeah, it's his only loss. So I think Stipe laid the blueprint, and I don't see anybody better in the division to follow that than Curtis.
Blaydes, heavyweights, the better grappler generally wins. The man who can dictate where the fight is. Aside from that, I don't think Ngannou has developed much more than from their first fight, where Blaydes has. He's gone in there with Mark Hunt, with other guys. He's shown success, and even in their last fight, he took Ngannou's biggest shots. So he doesn't necessarily have to shy away from the striking and taking heat. He took his best shots in that fight, but he's a better fighter than he was in his first fight. So I'm going to go with Blaydes on that one.
I think Curtis Blaydes has come along a lot since the last time they fought. I think he's really developed, and he's kind of showed up at every fight so far. So I'm going to go with Curtis Blaydes.
I got Curtis, man. Especially after Ngannou's last fight, I think he's broken mentally, and Curtis is gonna stay in your face now. He's not gonna be the type to let you walk around. So he's gonna go in there, take him down. I think he's gonna win it.
I've been really liking Curtis Blaydes lately. His athleticism at heavyweight. Francis has shown some holes with his wrestling. He is that power puncher, and it's hard to bet against Francis. His power that he has is off the charts, and it's like any heavyweight fight. It's hard to pick a winner because you're like, well, if the other guy connects, that could be it. But I think Curtis Blaydes is a little too quick, and I think he'll out wrestle him, and he's shown to have good cardio as well, which is one of Francis's holes.
I think same thing. I think Curtis Blaydes is getting better and better, and his wrestling is just on another level from these other heavyweights. He moves differently, and it's hard to keep up with that. We've seen Ngannou kind of folds to the pressure, gets tired if a guy can do that to him round after round. And I think his mental game's still off. He's still dealing with that Stipe fight, and he's afraid to kind of pull the trigger. And I don't think Curtis Blaydes is going to give him any room, so I'm going with Curtis Blaydes.
I think Curtis is going to take the rematch, man. His boxing his striking has gotten a lot better, and I think he's got one of the best double legs in the heavyweight division, really. And he put up a hell of a fight the first time. He had a bad cut and the fight got called. So I think it's Curtis's time, man. I think that I think after this, he deserves a title shot, to be honest.
I'm gonna go with Blaydes. I didn't like the confidence Ngannou had last fight, and I won big money on Derek Lewis also. I parlayed Derek Lewis and Cormier and won a lot of money. I'm gonna go with Blaydes.
It could be a draw. It could be a draw. You know, as far as I'm concerned, neither. You know, Francis went up there and fought for the title, and he didn't do his job, and then he got whooped by a fellow man, Derek Lewis. You know, a fellow Texan. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Francis can keep losing, and he can, you know, go over somewhere else and try something else, because to me he's irrelevant now. You know, I've seen him a couple times at the institution, and I cracked a few jokes, and he just didn't laugh hard enough. So fuck him.
But I was hanging out with Big Wood when I was in Vegas at the PI, and he was saying that Ngannou's like on another level right now. So we'll see. I still think Curtis will take it though.
Ooh, I think Francis is going to see a different Curtis Blaydes than he did in the first fight. I also think, just like I said with the last one, momentum is a huge thing in the sport. And as you can see, the momentum of these guys' careers has almost completely shifted since that last fight. I think Curtis uses that momentum to take it to bring himself to the win.
That's a good one, too. I'm going to have to go with Curtis Blaydes this time, because I feel like his takedowns and his pressure on the ground is going to be a little bit too much for Francis, and Francis didn't look too hot in his last two fights, so we'll see. I mean, I think his mind might be a little bit altered after that Stipe fight.